Humans just don't get it. They always seem to get the wrong idea about what we cats are doing. You humans often mistake our subtle signals for typical cat behavior, but there's usually more to the story. That quick exit when you enter a room, or the way we mysteriously vanish when you want to show us off to visitors, these aren't just random cat quirks. Let me help you spot the signs that your cat might be less than thrilled with your relationship. Here are 6 subtle clues your cat isn't happy and how to fix it. Silent warnings, loud reactions. Before we dive into the world of feline displeasure, let's address those unmistakable signs that even the most oblivious human can't miss. When we hiss, growl, or puff up our tails like bottle brushes, we're sending clear signals that something isn't right. A swat of our paw or a warning bite doesn't mean we're being moody. What we're really saying is, we're not okay with what's happening right now. These displays of unhappiness are really our last resort. We don't enjoy confrontation any more than you do. When we flatten our ears, dilate our pupils, and take on that Halloween cat pose, we're expressing our distress. Our whiskers point forward, our body language becomes tense, and we might even vocalize with low-pitched growls. These are part of our natural behaviors that surface when we feel threatened or extremely uncomfortable. But here's the crucial point that many humans miss. Before we show these clear signs of unhappiness, we've already tried many times to quietly tell you that something's wrong between us. We've spent weeks or months sending you gentler signals that our bond needs work. Which brings me to the real meat of our discussion. And no, I don't mean that delicious salmon you just opened. Eyes that speak. You know that moment when you're trying to make eye contact with us, attempting that slow blink that all the cat websites told you about? Well, if we're staring back with unblinking eyes or quickly looking away, we're telling you something important. That slow blink is our equivalent of a kiss, a sign of trust and affection. When we refuse it, it's often because we're not quite ready to show that level of vulnerability. In the cat world, direct eye contact can be a threat, so temporarily closing our eyes in another's presence is a way to show we're comfortable. When we don't feel secure enough to do this, it's usually because something in our past experiences or current environment hasn't given us reason to let our guard down. In a good relationship, we're trusting you enough to close our eyes around you. If we're avoiding this interaction, it might be because you violated our trust before. Maybe you tried grabbing us during peaceful moments, or approached us too quickly, or didn't respect our personal space. Some of us need months of gentle, consistent interaction before we feel safe enough to engage in this intimate gesture. The quiet disconnect. When you call our name and we ignore you, we're not just being independent, it's often a sign of emotional distance. When we're bonded with our humans, we'll respond with an ear twitch or a tail flick, even if we don't come running. Completely ignoring you means we've either learned that engaging leads to unwanted interactions, or we're feeling overwhelmed by your attempts to connect. This behavior goes beyond simple stubbornness. In a healthy cat-human relationship, we enjoy interacting with our humans, even if we don't always come when called. A bonded cat will often chirp, meow, or make eye contact when their name is called. If we ignore you, it might be because we've learned that responding leads to something we don't enjoy. Maybe when we answered your call before, you gave us medicine, picked us up when we didn't want to be held, or invaded our space. Or maybe your energy is too intense. Some humans get so excited that they overwhelm us with attention. Remember, we cats prefer subtlety and respect. Casual dining. Here's something that might surprise you. Mealtime is not just about food, it's a social interaction. If we barely notice you when you fill our bowl, rush in only after you've stepped away, or show no reaction when you approach our feeding area, you might want to take notice. This behavior may result from irregular feeding times, negative experiences during meals, or a lack of positive connections between you and our food. We might have learned to see you as the food dispenser, not a trusted provider. Mealtimes are crucial bonding moments for cat colonies. When we share food or hunt together, we're strengthening our social bonds. The same applies in our home. When we cats trust our humans, we will often show greeting behaviors around feeding time, such as rubbing against your legs, meowing, or leading you to our feeding area. We're not just begging for food, we're participating in a social ritual. When we avoid these interactions, it might be because past experiences have been stressful. Maybe you've tried to pet us while we eat. A big no-no for many of us, or perhaps mealtime, has been associated with loud noises or sudden movements. The escape artist. When we often retreat to our quiet spaces when you're around, especially if we're social with other household members, it's a sign something's wrong. Maybe you've tried to pick us up when we weren't ready, or your energy is too intense for us. This behavior often comes from past upsets, where our boundaries weren't respected, making avoidance feel like the best option. Our need for quiet spaces goes beyond wanting alone time. As both predator and prey, we're hardwired to seek secure spots to observe our environment without feeling threatened. When we consistently hide from someone, it's because their presence feels dangerous. This could be due to things humans overlook, like your movements being unpredictable, your loud voice, or the scents you carry, such as perfumes or the smell of other animals. Sometimes it's tied to past traumas. Maybe you stepped on our tail, or we associate you with unpleasant experiences like a vet visit. Whatever the reason, when we hide instead of staying in the same space, we're expressing discomfort that needs to be addressed. The one-stroke wonder. Have you noticed how some cats will stay for lengthy petting sessions, purring and showing obvious enjoyment, while some of us dart away after just a few strokes? If we're cutting these interactions short, it might mean we're tolerating your touch rather than enjoying it. This behavior might indicate that we haven't developed enough trust to be vulnerable during physical contact. Or perhaps your petting technique isn't matching our preferences. Every cat has different sensitive spots and pressure preferences. Some of us love a good chin scratch, but find backstrokes too much. Others might enjoy a gentle back pat, but pull back from belly touches. The key here is understanding that petting is an intimate interaction that requires mutual trust and understanding. During petting sessions, we're putting ourselves in a weak position, exposing our sensitive areas to you. If we're jumping away quickly, it might be because we've experienced rough handling before, or because your touch overstimulates us. Sometimes it's as simple as you petting us too hard, or in places we're not ready to have touched. Since I'm just a virtual cat, you can't pet me, but you can certainly do me a favor by liking or commenting on this video. No pressure though. The Game of Indifference. If we ignore your attempts to interact, especially when we're usually active, it means we're not interested in bonding. This could stem from past experiences where play became too exciting, or because the interaction doesn't match our natural style. Playing combines our hunting instincts, social bonding, and trust. When we interact with our humans, we're bonding by participating in a mock hunt. If we're showing little interest, it might be because your approach feels more threatening than enjoyable. For example, waving toys in our face can feel aggressive rather than playful. Or maybe you're not respecting our hunting rhythm. We need time to stalk, pause, and pounce rather than having toys constantly moved around. Some of us prefer ground-based activities mimicking mice, while others like aerial toys that simulate birds. If we're ignoring the game, it could be because you haven't discovered what triggers our instincts. There's also the chance that past sessions ended badly. Maybe you've scared us with too intense movements, or the activity ended in frustration because we never get to catch our prey. Remember, in nature, cats have a 30% success rate in hunting. If the interaction never leads to a satisfying catch, it can become frustrating rather than fun. Bridging the gap. Now that I've made you rethink your relationship with your cat, let me offer some hope. These behaviors aren't permanent, they're opportunities for growth. Despite our complexity, we cats respond well to positive changes. First, respect our boundaries. Let us approach you and offer gentle, non-overwhelming interactions. Watch our body language. Forward ears and relaxed whiskers mean comfort, while an upright, slightly curved tail shows friendliness. These are the moments to build on. Build trust by feeding us on time and respecting our preferences. If we dislike being picked up, sit nearby instead. Begin with short interactions, gradually extending them, and use treats to reward good behavior. We repeat what feels positive. When it comes to play, try different toys and styles that match our natural instincts. Some of us prefer feather wands, while others get excited about laser pointers. Pay attention to our cues. Our dilated pupils, twitching tail, and focused attention will tell you when you found something we enjoy. Be patient. Trust takes time, especially if we are cautious from past experiences. Celebrate small wins, like us sitting near you, blinking slowly, or sleeping nearby. These are signs we are starting to feel safe with you. Patience and practice. We cats are complex creatures with our own personalities, preferences, and experiences that shape our behavior. If you're seeing these signs, it doesn't mean we'll never bond with you. It just means we need a different approach, more time, or better understanding of our boundaries. The fact that you're watching this shows you care about understanding us better, and that's the first step toward building a stronger connection. With time and patience, you might find that we're not giving you the cold shoulder after all. We're just waiting for you to learn our language and meet us halfway. A cat's trust is one of the most rewarding bonds. Though mysterious, we are deeply loyal and affectionate when understood and respected. Keep working at it. We promise it's worth the effort. And now that we've discussed why we cats might keep our distance, let's explore why we sometimes crave your constant attention by watching this next video. Stay cool. Catch you on the flip side.